Since we have the thoughts to share, how we are acknowledged by our peers. Why has it we don't normally tolerate other people, by which I mean to answer the lifelong questions that we hold as a part of who we are? Sometimes I ask myself, to vanquish foes or not to exact revenge, and vanquish them. To each his own, they come wanting a piece of you, without giving them something we might not have, the nicest time. To do unto other people is to wish upon them an upset of gladly having them company over. Why my next life I'll be happy not to take it out? Why else has it we follow the same regime, day in and day out, by ourselves? Without giving back who knows you better than yourself? How else will we have the right time for other people to go out with a bang? Then it's remorse the day you leave all that behind without concern of your well-being. I like to value space and time, for others to want to neglect me. Without the right touch. I have friends in the form of old pals, that tango and do all kinds of groovy stuff together. Never have we been thinking for ourselves that we should take on skimping one another? Why else has there no one at my side at the end of it all? The real reason things go AWOL and never there. Not that I have to guess why others take long to be there by our side at the end of the day. To leave us stuff no one can guess who has the right mindset. No one is a total all on their own, making up the sum of many of you. That is to differ from the masses and leave stuff without absent the mind. No one should guess the masses have stuff not to care about giving or getting without leaving others behind. That goes without saying. How else is there no moral act of conduct? The root word. That's not it. He himself has friends, I can name a few. Toby, Anastasia, and Adam. Anybody can make a list. Out of pure negligence, or I beg to differ. Those aren't my friends. It's Adam, Michael, Fernando, Jamie, and Judy. No, it's more than a list of close-quarter ties, right now. It's just a joke. Now I have your attention. There doesn't seem a way we value others as a chord? Those are not the right list, even if I can see them. They invite me over. And I love the thrill of being not even close to them, you think? But enough of that. No one gives you a shred of stuff tied down so far that he himself as the victim never cared. Never have I known that. Why listing is not important enough to care about who we never get in contact with. Never real who's there now. Why he himself has no one attended to him. It's the rule I'm talking about, a certain someone. No one guess he could have a pussy. And it's Michael. They're telling me. Why has it he has one and no one rats that he is not a man? That's not the point. The point I'm persuading is he second guesses and like holding a secret as time stands still. If he himself longs and wait for someone to total him up. I'll list them now. My close friends are Valerie, Adam, Fernando, Jamie, and there's others, and a word for friends? To sum up a total is not to this day we rue. Less meaningful to learn that. The reason things don't go as planned, someone mentions, is that we have stuff in common, from Fernando daunting at best. And he chooses that we play as a part of the sum. Even if it's to sketch the truth. That's not all he's saying. He mentions people gather at social gathering. That's why I have the vain self to know that. You'll learn all about I have my own words. What is it, you ask? It's the answer to all life's questions. What more are we as a whole is played entirely out of dealing hands, the game with cards. That's the moral of friends going a separate ladder as God, quite frankly. The soul of asunder. Why, we ask ourselves at this time of beginning a new arc. With friends that who've got your back. Without attention deficit disorder. He'd be my best friend. And Jamie comes a close second. Without them too I wouldn't have come out on top. And it's to rile up an anger, Michael, to a T. And he has worshippers to shred them a bit of doubt. Not out of pure consideration. As so to say they're better off with him than me. without any sense of remorse. No one in their right mind knows why we sprout stuff we don't fathom to care at all. Now, with this vision of friends copying to know, no one has any ego or self. Without Polly, with no Roachman? That'll confuse you with lack of hearing going on to talk past Judy. How else has love known right slander all others just for them to picture true love, for me? No one guessed the meaning of life better than Fernando Ruiz. And it goes to show he's all bark and bite on his own pace. Until then, I haven't the foggiest idea any of it sounds promising. But what do we know, huh? No one suspect the culprit to be me. And no one acts out on their own time, you think? And around me they seem to suffice all on their own. Never grasp that meaning, but the answer stays true. That's the truth I gathered. Never sufficing enough to tangible talk? That's no big deal if the hand God played, even at the end. For tipping over what can't be brought down. Never has he say anything I don't get. But to play the victim in a Texas Hold'em game. Never charged you with go-getting has to offer. Suffice to the null after, in the next chapter. Everybody starts off a null at one time, even as a baby, not to mention anyone. The rest get stuck with null is the best approach. To tell back days of receiving, until the null is gone. Why sometimes I value him above all else. To him palling around was quite, frankly, never nerve-wracking, to say the least. The rest is saying that social gathering has to offer. A barbecue that no one mentions at Michael's. You talk about life and its mysteries, okay. No one got down. No one got down? How is it fair I didn't think he likes his girlfriend? He's in a closet. Enough ranting. No one has it in him to keep stuff from us. Like him? Like nothing has to be without the life he went out. That's to make countermeasures work out for you. Her name was Pia. British with Chilean? That's the first time I thought I don't have even my life in check. If he can score from our meetings online talking with my ex Angela, that's the tipping of the iceberg? That's the real time things fall into nothing thought. Just remembering that time I try to stay cool with him. To see he's more than capable of accord on his own true love. The sum of the table is wagered on life, living without others, people by your side, and never have what we care about on the plate. No one assumes their roles in an unwelcome state. Never have the feelings of another. Wishful thinking might not be part of the agenda? Why was it that people lose push towards life? What if we have the stuff each people brought on the plate? The never shall you reap is never there. Without weakness, control over the lives lost all meaning? The moral is to no conduct. Should be allowed out the thought process, never had a doubt. This is welcoming to some, not to others. Why must we strive to be the best? I never knew it's revealing your cards. In Texas Hold'em. When stuff or self brought and have control over the lives of some. It hasn't strike me even, I'm the bearer of everyone's misfortune in mind. If it goes out to such I value, and look forward at that. Why I must know the deal bought, down by the hand. That's not to take away thoughts, we muster. Even I am now, the enviable demise is doom. Look enough for the cards to play a factor. No one ever could place it higher on a grand scale. That's not the truth to no one that care enough. No, it starts as a gesture to tie over and to tie things down? I never knew it either, and wishful thinking has me by life. In itself is the truth? That we stray far away on common hours to make things have to matter. And to them they love the idea of satisfactory. To them they cherish other people's lives above all else than their own. That's a rule I rue to this day, making matters worsen. To that I offer condolence to others that heed my warning. Never wishful thinking brought food onto the plate exactly. No one knows how reaction speed is dull at best. Sitting around watching movies, sometimes a sitcom. Nobody knew where I went with the truth. Is going to be the quote of a lifetime. No more hope left, though. Never have I known life has many open doors. Again, I cherish life for what it has to offer. And leave life alone as part of the agenda. Not to picture, I'm not here for all, to underestimate me. Never has it rue the day they fathom you.